Hi, everyone. It's Lynn from Devine Central, and I am here today with Rebecca. Rebecca is from Ontario, Canada, and she is one of my one-on-one practice customers or clients, if you will. And Rebecca, it's so great that you are willing to come on here and do a little bit of practicing with me just to show people what it looks like and that it's not as scary as it sounds.
And you know what they
However,
say, feel the
what do
fear
they
and do it
say?
anyway. Feel
Yeah,
the
feel
fear
the
and do it
fear.
anyway.
But do you remember the very first session that we had? You were absolutely terrified. Can you speak to that and how you feel
Uh,
today?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I was terrified, but it was definitely a jump into a pool, like something you hadn't done before. And Lynn has taught me a lot about saying what you see. And yeah, probably I was a bit nervous. I'm not sure what else you want to know, but I've noticed a huge progression I think we've had like 4 or 5 lessons, and the difference is kind of night and day. It's really sped up me
It's kind of fun, isn't
progressing
it?
as a reader. Yeah, I think
Yay.
I would have struggled a lot more by myself to get this far, and I wouldn't have got this far this fast. So,
Well,
hooray, Lynn.
and that's kind of what this video is about, is just to give people a peek inside of what it looks like. All right, I'm going to switch cameras now. All right, you and I discussed everyday witch, like what deck should we use? So
Hmm.
this is one that you like and I like, and so I thought we'd go ahead and start with this. I've already given it a shuffle. I have
Okay.
pulled a handful of, we've just put a handful of these questions. Oh, can you see them in that thing? Out of my 600 questions for your everyday practice, which you can get down below in my Etsy shop. So I just pull out a bunch of questions. We'll just throw them all together. Let's just lay some quick three cards and see what we both come up with. Okay.
Okay.
And remember, and for everybody watching this, it's like there is no right or wrong answers. It's just throwing out the first thing that comes off the top of your head. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands, and I guess I should have asked the question first, but and then we
Yeah.
have the Six of Swords. Here, we'll grab
All
a
right.
question.
Well,
The
first thing is I see
question,
a lot of twos. Yeah.
the question is this the best time for me to retire? And it's
Ooh.
the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Six of Swords. What does that conjure up for you?
Well, looking at the card in the center, this is your plan. I always call this the plans for world domination card. Um, it looks like you're making plans, and perhaps retirement is the right thing for you. It looks like you have a happy, stable relationship from card one. I mean, this is a 3 card reading, so you can't go as in depth. The Six
Right.
of Swords also I would say calls towards retiring because it's about, well, escape is one word, but moving on or leaving something behind. So that would be my initial hit off this. What do you think, Lynn?
Absolutely. Well, if I look at it, and I'm with you. I don't start with the first card, but I am looking here and thinking the Two of Wands. This is a need to pick a direction to make a plan, and I
Right.
think that I think you have great support to turn to, whether it be whoever the relationship is with. This is a great opportunity for support to help you make a decision to eventually move on. So is this the best time? Yes, because you're leaving something that's no longer serving you,
Right.
or it's no longer for you. So I absolutely agree. Hey, next question. Next question. Let's see what we pick out here. Amelia wants to know what should I do to be truly happy? I'm just going to go one by one on these cards. I'm not going to be reshuffling all the time.
Okay, so just because it's a little small, we've got the Moon, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords.
That's it. Wow.
Okay.
So one of the things I like to tell, especially newer people, and you're not newer, but one of the newer people, to share it with them is when you have set or you set the intention for the what the key is, the key word or the key phrase for these, it really
Mm-hmm.
helps to run through them, right?
Yes, I
So
agree. Can you
you
just quickly repeat the question for me and the
yes.
listening audience? Yeah.
What should I do to be truly happy?
Okay. Well, number one, card on the left, mysteries of the universe. I mean, that's one heck of a question. If we had an easy answer for that, we'd all be a lot happier. So the moon is a lot about unknown. You're gonna have to do some deep soul searching, I think, on this to find what makes you happy. I mean, the moon is your subconscious influences a lot. That's what the water symbolizes to me. Um, that's card one. Now piecing it together to two kings. All right. Well, there's definitely kings are about mastery, I guess, some action you need to take. I don't know. What do you think on this part, Lynn? Because
I,
king's
I
about
think
happiness.
I think you're absolutely right. I think it starts out with, there are so many unknowns that you almost have to try everything in order to find out what's going to work for you. And I think with
Sure.
the two kings, we have the energy of taking control or taking leadership of the situation and plan and having a plan. The King of Swords is about strategy and discipline. And so I think that as we walk down that path, not it needs to be okay that we don't know what's at the end of that path. But if
Right.
we force ourselves down that path, we take control and leadership, of our destiny and have a
Yeah.
plan for it. I think that
I
that
I also think maybe the kings are, you've got to keep the end goal in mind. To be happy in life, it's good to be pursuing something, and the kings both being the somewhat the completion or mastery of their suit. That's sort of the long game, keeping the end goal in mind. But I think the
love
moon really
end
speaks a
goal.
lot. Yeah.
I think that's terrific. I love that. So let's move on. Next question. Will will I get my salary increase this month? Okay. Am I going to get my salary
Get my salary
increase this
increase
month?
this month.
Knight of
Oh,
Wands, Five of Swords, and the Empress. Ooh,
wow.
that's a tough one.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's tough.
The Knight of Wands is plenty ambitious. So you've been going after this race pretty hard, but I think the Five of Swords in the middle is some type of obstacle or change or disagreement. And the strange part about this layout I would see is you've got the contrast between the Five of Wands and the Empress,
Yeah.
because the Empress to me says growth, right? That you would get the salary increase. However, the Five of Swords says there's going to be some tension, to say the very least, in getting there.
Or
But you are
competition.
ambitious, or
Yep.
competition. Uh,
Yep. You
I
have to take some action I think you have to take some action to put yourself above the fray in order to create what you want, which is that salary.
that is a very good way to read it, Lynn.
Yeah, I think they're both great. Okay, why am I hesitating over something I thought I wanted? Why am I
Wow,
hesitating?
hesitating over
Oh, look at
something.
that. Over something I thought I wanted.
So we've got the Nine of
Nine of
Wands there,
nine of wands, and
Queen
which
of
is
Swords.
hesitation in itself, right? It's almost you're
Yeah,
almost there. You're almost over the hump. What are you fighting
yeah.
for? What are you defending? The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Why am I hesitating over something I thought I wanted?
Well, the Queen of Swords is there's your, to me, somewhat of the key card. You are thinking this over logically, because we both know, Lynn and I, the Queen of Swords, she's very logical. So perhaps it dawned on you that maybe this isn't what you wanted after all, using your logical mind. You've been
Yeah.
fighting very hard for it, because the Nine of Swords, you've been persevering, hanging on, working for this thing, and now
For
you're
what
questioning the
though?
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for what?
And she wants to know why she's hesitating. Uh, well, the Queen of Pentacles would be about a whole different path, a whole
Sure.
sorry, is that page or knight? That's Knight of Pentacles.
That's the
Yeah, it'd be
Knight of Pentacles. And if knights are about action, they're the action figures in the deck. And this
maybe
can
you can,
be
maybe you
and
just
and
need to tweak your direction a little. That's all I got.
or maybe you're second guessing it now, right? Maybe you're
Hmm.
overthinking it because it's moving so slow.
Oh, that's a good
Because
thing. Overthinking.
progress is so
Yeah.
slow. Because we know that the knight is action, but he's slow moving action.
Hmm.
So that could be. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. Oh yeah, there's one way.
No,
There's
you're right. You have that
that.
ties the two together, the Nine of Swords and the, yeah, moving slowly, and it's just a slog fest the whole way there with the Knight of Swords.
I love it. I want to start a business. Is now a good time to do that? We have the Five of Cups, we have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Emperor.
Well, my initial hit would be yes, but the Knight of Swords, there's your biggest action of all the action cards. Like, all the knights mean action, but the Knight of Swords especially is the most forward thinking. And the Five of Cups can often be about your outlook on things. If now is a good time to start a business, perhaps getting out of your own way, because I see the Emperor over there on the right, and I mean, he's got it going on. got the whole situation. If you were to start a business, being the emperor, manifesting his energies, probably a good place to start.
I don't usually look at the Five of Cups as as a confidence level. I don't look at it like that. I look at the
No,
five, for me, I look at the Five of Cups as regret over something. But in this case, looking at this card and thinking about the question, we have, I'm seeing it's like this total lack of confidence, this total,
mm-hmm.
oh, I don't know if I can make it work. And at the other end of this, I look at this, pure discipline in order
Yeah,
to, discipline and looking at everything, and planning. See, because he's got his
yeah.
plan out here.
And
And
he's the
so
king of kings. So yeah.
I see the difference between where you are today and where you're going to be in
Yes.
success is taking action and taking immediate action to get out of this dump that you're in.
And really, really focusing on that action because it's fast and
Right.
furious. Yeah.
So
The Five of Cups is more just pessimism. Sorry. Go ahead.
Liz wants to know, will my baby be a boy or a girl? Okay,
I think that's the
there's
wrong spread.
yeah, I think so, but just for
Oh
fun,
God.
let's lay some cards.
Wow.
I just, I mean, there's so many readers that will not read that question, but I mean, come on, you got a 50-50 chance, right? Of being
Yeah.
right. So,
Well, we should
it's,
at least be 51. We're tarot readers. Like
I
let's
know,
up the odds
yeah,
a
there
bit.
you go. So, let's be practical, right?
Okay.
Let's
We
be
prac
practical. No one really knows the answer but the doctor with the ultrasound, right?
yeah.
But
You're gonna
I'm putting
you're
my
gonna have to
money on
wait.
the fact that it's a boy.
Me
How
too.
about you?
Because well, this might be here's a off the page of wands is that and see how
Yeah.
there's that orange cat in the background.
Yep.
I've got myself a little orange cat. You've seen him in videos before. He takes over wherever he is. That's why I've got the door shut, or this whole video would be about him. He is a boy. He is beautiful and he knows it. So I guess I see
Boys are
that.
leaders. Boys
And he
can be
this
leaders.
I get a bit of masculine energy off this page. I'm not sure why, but the hangman is suspension. Like some things you just don't
Yeah.
get to know magically,
Right.
even if you are the queen of practicality over there on the left. So
And two, I think it's a good a lesson in we don't have to see answers in everything. Sometimes there is no answer, and that needs to be okay,
you
you
need to
know?
wait. The suspension, the hangman. That's like a really
Yeah.
poignant card for this read. Yeah.
Okay. How can I work less and make more money? How can I
Please.
work, how can I work less and make
Oh,
more money? Is
well,
that a weird combination or what? Okay.
not so much to me. The Ace of Swords, that's like having a great idea. The one way to work less and make more money is having a really good idea and plan and clarity. And I think the Ace of Swords is about all those things, new beginnings. And it dovetails perfectly into the Eight of Cups. You're walking away from maybe what you're currently doing,
Mhm.
because obviously what you're currently doing isn't making you more money with working less, or you would want to keep doing it. So I almost see this as wildly creative. You're leaving something behind, maybe being an inventor, coming up with some great idea, uh, starting something with the ace. And look at the final fortune card you get, like the 10 of cups. That's cups, right? It doesn't get any better than that. Like that's all. That's your perfect, almost too perfect
Maybe
dreams come true card.
maybe Ace of Pentacles would be better than that, but
Or 10 of pentacles.
yeah, but you know what this yes, you know what this tells me? This card, well, I'm going to say I'm going to say the first thing that came to my mind
Yeah.
was the same. It's like you've got this great idea that can actually work. You just have to walk toward it, walk away from what you're currently doing and walk toward it. And it has something to do with a family business, starting a family
Oh, okay.
business.
Okay. I always
But
saw it as if you're working less, you'll have more time for family. That's,
there you go.
hmm
I think though that also this card to me, it as an attribute, this card to me means all will be well. So
okay.
is this a good time? How can I work, how can I work less and make more money? Well, I would say bring in the family,
Mm,
add to your,
yeah.
take the onus off of you alone, right? Because that's not working for you and do it in like a family business where you can share the load maybe.
Okay.
All right, let's try a couple more and then we'll Move on. All right. What one aspect of my life should I focus on over the next 3 months? What is the one
Okay.
aspect of my life that I should focus on?
Sorry, funny things come to your head sometimes.
Well, say them because that
No,
might be
no,
true.
I don't think being a thief is what you should focus on. I was looking at the middle card of deception there. Uh, well, you're gonna have to weigh the pros and cons on this one. Let's just start left to right. It might involve something you're not used to doing. And the end card's like all recognition, if I'm seeing that card correctly.
Yep,
Like that's your
Six
big
of Wands.
yeah. So whatever you need to focus on is something you want to be realized for. What do you think of that Seven of Swords, Lynn? I'm gonna throw that one back to you.
Well, as you know, I look at sevens as being a retest, right? That's how
Right.
I look at it from Mary Kay Greer's Tarot Mountain. I look at it as okay, we made it to the top with the sixes, and now we're going to be retested before we can hit full stride with the eights. Swords, communication, how we think and what. But this card, oftentimes, when I see this card, I think about flying under the radar. I think about having to do things alone, and I can't help but
Mm.
I am drawn to the right side first, and I am drawn to how can I? Where are we? Hesitating. The one
I don't know.
aspect of my life I should focus on the next 3 months, and I think it's getting the accolades that you deserve.
No, I
You've
think
you
you're right. Because
probably
when you explain it like that, I see it more clearly. I see
I mean, you're
the
having to do it alone, but things
you
should be
having to do it
coming your
alone. Yeah.
way, right? This is
Sorry?
karma. This is a karma card.
Okay.
I think you were, it's karma. You're destined to travel this path by yourself, but at the end of the day, you get all of the kudos. You get all the credit or you get all the fault, but I think that you should focus on getting the recognition that you deserve for this journey that you had to go through by yourself. That's what I see.
Right.
All right, one
And
more.
yep.
What will happen? Oh, Katie, what will happen if I elope with my boyfriend? Oh, you know
Uh,
what? That might be a real fun one for an
the
option
bigger.
spread, wouldn't it? What?
Okay.
Yeah, Katie, what will happen if I elope with my boyfriend?
Oh. Well, don't you just get the lottery here?
Wow. And that is like
That's
winning the lottery, isn't it?
yeah. Well,
Oh
first the
my
Wheel of
God, things
Fortune,
are
I was
going to
like,
turn up
uh-oh,
your
it's up in the
way.
air. Yeah,
Everything, everyone's going to love it. You will be celebrated, and the world is
the
your
world is
oyster.
your oyster.
Yep.
No
Okay.
kidding.
Well, I'm going to pick up the cards because we've gone through so many here. We're going to
Okay.
shuffle. Um, I like five card. You and I have discussed five card spreads,
Mhm.
and we've also you and I've worked on um, Celtic Cross. You seem to like that.
I
You like
do. I think
working.
that's what drew me to you as a teacher in the first place. I saw a couple of you. I watched a lot of your videos, obviously, and I started out with the ones with the three card. I didn't do a lot of three card spreads, but I did a lot of your that the download you have on your Etsy shop with the pictures and the three cards and getting
Oh
different
yeah,
meanings.
the
Yeah,
three
that was
card
where I
workbook,
started.
practice
Yeah, and
workbook.
then I've watched so many Celtic Cross videos, and finally I liked yours, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take one and go with it. And I liked yours the best, so that's kind of what I did, and I've been working with that one since. I mean, I can play around with other ones. Obviously, I tried Vincent Pitisci's too. I've used
Mhm.
that a couple sometimes because he was
Yeah,
awesome.
he has such a different take,
It is different.
Oh,
It's really
and
different.
I want you to know, I don't know if you saw the video where it's like where I said, altering the Celtic cross to get a better read. It's about all the different I highlighted like, I don't know, somewhere between 12 and 16 different videos. Or I'm sorry, different Celtic cross
Yeah, yeah.
spreads
Oh,
that
yeah.
other
I did
people have
see that
done.
one.
Did you see
Yeah,
the very last one was a Tom Benjamin? And
yeah. That
it
that
was
one is one to come back to for sure.
well,
That was weird.
I just did a video on it and I've
Yeah.
already rendered it. I just haven't uploaded it yet. I'll do that.
Oh,
I'll
oh,
upload
on
it.
Tom Benjamin's on
Yeah, I
just
did
his.
Tom Benjamin. I just did
Ah,
one
okay.
just on Tom Benjamin's. It's called The New Celtic Cross.
Yeah, his
And
was
I
pretty
will post,
radical.
yeah, I'm going to post that today or tomorrow, one or the other.
Awesome.
All
Awesome.
right, so we were going to switch to 5 card, and you
Sure.
you said that you liked. Have you come up with a different 5 card, or you said you liked the one
I
that
start
I
with
had?
I loved your Celtic cross, and that's probably the thing I've done the most. The 5 card we've worked on to sort of get there, and I've grown to like it too. I've been practicing with it a bit. Um,
One of
I I moved the cards in a different slightly position. Um,
How do you do
yeah,
that?
I don't, well,
Do you do it in
just
a
because
row?
no, because your first card was your situation, right? And the second card is your foundation. And
Hmm.
generally what will help and what will hinder, all those two can switch places on you, and advice. So for me, the foundation just wanted to be below.
It
So I
wanted to be
just changed,
first.
instead of going down, up, I go instead of going up, down, sorry, I go down, up. Just helps me remember that,
Okay.
okay, foundation. But it's the same spread. I haven't
So the
reinvented the wheel
so
yet. So I'll get to
so
that maybe.
I'm going to throw out a question first.
Sure.
How will the relationship unfold between him and his parents? All right. So
Okay.
here's what we're talking about. We're talking about I'm going to lay the card. I was going to lay the cards out. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
isn't that fun? That's a man. Him and his parents there. There's a family card, right?
And
This
are we
is what
reading
I
this? Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
this is how I usually lay it out. But what I was doing
Uh,
is saying, here's the subject. I want to know that spirit is here and listening to it and saying yes, confirming yes, this is what we're talking
okay.
about. But usually I say this is the subject. This is the foundation, or this is what precipitated the whole thing. This is how it came to be. And then
Okay.
this is what helps, this is what hinders, and this is like advice, final advice for spirit, or it could be a potential outcome, as well.
Okay.
But I usually use it. So what you're telling me is this for you, this is the foundation. That's
No, no.
easier for you.
No, I just
Okay.
take the second card. It's not a big
Mhm.
deal, Lindley, and I slide it down. So instead of going upwards, that's the foundation. So down below a little bit, like if you pull just inverse of what you got, because that's
Okay.
a foundation, and then you have what will help, which is up, and what will hinder, which is down. See what I mean?
Oh,
That's all
yeah.
I did, and then the outcome,
Well, that
because
makes
it helped
that
me
well, actually
remember.
that actually makes more sense because those are the ones that are the belows. Yeah, it makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
But all
So
right.
with this, what I do, oh, there it is. So what did I do with the
Yeah, you get
question?
the question.
The question is, how will the relationship unfold between him and his parents? So, again, what I think is really, really helpful for anybody that's just practicing, and even I do this, when I'm sitting around with,
Hmm.
bored, I'm doing nothing, I'll start practicing a little. But what helps is, again, what are your key words for this, right? And what are your
Okay.
keywords or your key phrases for this? So, just as an example, this is to me, this 7 of Wands is
It's
standing
a
your
seven
moral
of wands.
ground.
Okay. Okay.
The ten of Cups for me is all will be well, or a family. It stands for family. The Ten of Wands, and we have a Ten of Cups and we have a Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a need to let go of you're being weighed down, right? It's a
Yeah,
burden.
burden. Yeah.
And the Ace of Cups is the beginning of something new and heartfelt.
Uh-huh.
And then the seven, the chariot. Well, the chariot means sevens mean one thing to me. That's being tested, or being
Right.
retested. But the chariot is about getting focused, getting in the driver's seat, right? Cassandra
Hmm.
Eason. To get in that driver's seat and drive that thing where you want to go instead of sitting in the passenger seat and then complaining when you don't like the destination. So it's interesting, but it kind of helps a lot if you can do that and then say, okay, how can I piece that story together? But anyway, so how will the relationship unfold between him and his between? It shouldn't be he and his family.
Well, that's
No,
what I was going to ask you.
yeah.
Are we doing this third party? Like, is he asking for himself, or is he asking how is him? Like, it kind of
How will the
implies that he's.
relationship? Well, the fact that it's between him and his, yeah, I guess it kind of. Um, but he's not going to
So we pick
say.
one. Yeah.
He's
Okay.
not going to say to us, how will the relationship unfold between him and his family? He's not going to say that. He's going to say between me and my family. So I
Right.
would say it's third party.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so like he's the trusted friend advising his buddy. I would say the same as you pretty much on the first card, the seven. You got to defend who you are. You be who you are.
Right.
You don't make changes. And the foundation leading up to it as well, it looks really promising and good potential. You seem to get along with these people. And
But
now
doesn't
one
it look
thing,
like, but doesn't it look like that he's having to defend something that started
possibly,
with the family? So
oh,
something,
you read it that
so
way. Okay. Yeah,
there's some type of an issue maybe that
maybe.
created. Okay, you go
Which
ahead.
would explain. Now one lesson we had, I don't know if you want this in your video, but I often find that cards 3 and 4, the help and hinder, you kind of have to read the cards because they switch places sometimes. Sometimes
Yes,
you card 3 is telling what hinders, and like you could see the 10 of Wands fitting
I've
that
had
very
that happen
easily.
too.
And then
So,
the ace seems more like a positive card. So
right.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes
So
I
maybe,
look at
so
those.
maybe hanging on, maybe what happened is maybe there was a bone of contention over a family issue that started when he took on more responsibility. Maybe at the time he wanted to take it on, and he
Yeah.
felt he was capable. But now he's finding that it's not working for him anymore, and he's got to have, it's just become a burden. It's become a job, and that is the bone of contention, is because he needs to let go of some of this, and people are disappointed in him. But I'm thinking that there's a good chance that someone's going to come along to try to help lessen this burden
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
him. And that's just going to lighten up everybody. That's going to be a new tweak to this situation that is just going to lighten everybody's mood,
Yeah.
right? And allow
Yeah.
people to move, allow them to get past it. Vroom,
And
vroom, vroom.
the chariot and the 7 of Wands both speak to me about determination. It's going to be a factor here.
Yeah.
And sometimes the card that
Yeah.
seems negative can be the positive. Like if the seven of
I
wands
agree.
the 10 of Wands is the help, then you got to work your butt off kind of and carry the load sort of thing. But it's hard to
Yeah.
see an ace as a negative. So
Yeah, it really is. But
yeah.
you're right. You're right. I think that I've had issues with this too, trying to having to switch those off. So
Hmm.
sometimes, yeah, it's just knowing that we have a help and hindrance, and we can pick which one
But
we want.
that was a really cool lesson I learned from you in one of our videos. That was one of the big takeaways because I go over my notes. I have a little
Yeah.
Lynn
Well,
section
we
in
have
my
to be
tarot journal.
flexible, right?
Yeah. So
How can I overcome my fear of rejection? Why are we getting all these weird ones? Okay, I'm going to do it your way. We're going to
sure.
do it your way. Okay. And then I forgot, I usually throw a 6 card. If this is a potential outcome, I flip over the bottom of the deck to say, what is the last word from spirit? So,
Yes. And that was
all right.
another thing. That was another reason I chose you
Yeah.
for the people out
Well,
there. Is I love that
yay.
idea, the bottom of the deck as
Okay.
like a little
Let's
bonus.
make sure everybody knows that I'm not paying you for this, right?
You are not paying me for this. This is
Paying.
honest.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So how can I overcome my fear of rejection?
Oh, wow. All
Hmm.
right. Well, the 8 of Swords in the lead to foundation place definitely speaks to your fear of rejection, feeling trapped, social anxiety. That's what I see
Thinking,
in that
thinking is
card.
what I call this card. This
Yeah.
is my stinking thinking. If that's and
Yeah.
it's a fatalistic attitude.
And your thoughts
And
become
that
your
is,
feelings. Yeah.
yep. And is that not what is, and which is the opposite of this, the opposite of feeling
Pretty
comfortable
much.
in your
Yeah.
own skin, right?
Right.
So
Right.
is this not your biggest obstacle? Is where it comes from?
Right.
Your
And
thinking
I
doesn't,
totally get that.
it's
I
keeping you
mean,
from being comfortable in your own skin and being successful in whatever you do.
but
Okay.
it's also not real. We have to believe at the end of the day, like the 9 of Pentacles there, that's you, but you're getting attacked by this 8 of
Queen.
Swords within yourself. No, I'm looking on the left,
Oh, the
sorry.
9 of Pentacles. Yes.
Both of
So,
those are great cards and they're similar to me, the 9 and the Queen of Pentacles. Yes.
so what's going to help you?
Well, solid people that are going to be there for you, not getting around unhealthy people that will cause you to, what was her fear exactly?
Fear of rejection.
Fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Well, there's no way to combat that totally, but choosing a good partner and friends would
Yeah.
help.
Choosing right in the first place.
Yeah, that's a big help.
Choosing somebody you feel comfortable with in the first place. How many young girls especially end up with or even younger boys or men, who kind of who kind of date up. I want to call it up or marrying up.
Dating.
And it's like, God, how lucky was I to get this person? Feeling that that person has more value than you do, and that can really, set you up for, feeling less of a person and potential rejection.
Yeah.
Rejecting
Well,
the
and
fact
how
that you're
many
equal.
people, even older, repeat the same patterns over and over and over because of that Eight of Swords, that they don't
Right.
feel they deserve better. That would be the pop psychology
Could
angle,
the
I guess.
six could the six of lovers also represent commitment, committing to yourself? A
Ooh, I
long
like that.
term. Be careful what you commit to, because you're going to be stuck with it for a long time.
Yeah,
So
commitment's a big word for that. Yeah.
yeah, what can hinder? Well, here we
Well,
go. It's feeling sorry for ourselves.
back to the Eight of Swords, the same thoughts, the
Yeah,
negativity, focusing on the three spilled cups and that. Yeah.
which is why this is so cool that these are up and these
Yeah.
are down. You're right. See, now I'm probably going to do it from this way, from this point forward. And
Yay.
then,
Awesome.
of course, what is the advice from Spirit? Get practical. Do something, be practical, do something constructive that will take your mind off of this crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you see in her?
As related in the Queen of
Queen
uh
of Pentacles.
and
This
the
is
question was, how do I get over my social anxiety?
how can
Uh
I overcome my fear of rejection?
oh, fear of rejection. Be solid within yourself. The Queen of Pentacles, she's one tough lady, like she's got it all going on and she's in charge, and
Yeah.
I think she'd be a
And she's
hard one to shake.
practical. She looks at everything from a practical standpoint.
Yeah. So
And
maybe
if
aim to be her. I kind of see the person right now as the Nine of Pentacles, maybe grow into the Queen.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. And if we did have a last word from Spirit, bottom of the deck, it would be the Page of Cups. Expect the unexpected. Do something fun and unexpected to take your mind off of
Take your
your
mind off the Eight of
issues.
Swords and the Five of Cups. Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that
And I
something?
do that a
Okay.
lot. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I do like this inverted V, or this, yeah, I like this inverted thing. Okay, so what will happen if I move to Ohio?
Well, you're the American, so you can answer that better than me.
Okay,
Ohio.
what would
That's potatoes,
happen?
right? Or is that
What would
Iowa?
happen if I moved
Ohio.
to New Brunswick?
No, I've actually been to Ohio. Come to think of it, that's
Have
one
you?
state I've been to. I
Oh,
went to Cleveland. Yes, it was really cool.
all right. Eight of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Tower,
Tower.
the Moon,
Oh, all the big
jeez,
cards coming out to play.
and the Six of Pentacles.
Good
So
God.
what
Okay.
happened? Okay, so what happens if I move out of the area, right? Out of the area, out of state,
All right.
whatever.
Well, it's all up in the air. It's on the move. There's your Eight of Wands, like moving to Ohio. So there you go. Spirit is answering your question because you're talking about moving. I think the Eight of Wands, if you think of the original RWS, that's the biggest card of movement, next to maybe some of the knights. The
Have you
foundation.
noticed, have you
Oh,
noticed the
sorry.
difference between this Eight of Wands in the Everyday Witch deck and the
Yeah,
Rider-Waite Smith? They
it is
are all aligned. So it's almost as if everything is lining up as it should be,
right.
where everything is up in the air on
It's
this one.
chaos a bit. Yeah, and it's
A little
funny
more
how things
chaotic.
change deck to deck, and that was one
Yeah.
thing I struggled with, is like that it's okay to read a deck with its different picture, because I mean in our heads you always have the RWS in mind. I
Yep.
find it hard
I
to,
do too.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, what will happen if I move to Ohio? Give me a quick read on this.
Quicker. Okay, well, I think the foundation of why you're wanting to move to Ohio is possibly financial. Not a lot of job opportunities coming around, so being stuck in a bit of poverty is partially what's motivating you to make a move. And the tower, well, is what will, let's say that's what will help. This is like a shakeup. This is like a massive overhaul. Sudden upheaval is a meaning for the tower. So in this
Yep.
case, I think it's a positive card for it. You know, um, what will hinder you? Well, there's the moon again, the unknown. That could be anything, subconscious, doubting yourself, fear. Fear is one for the moon. That will hinder you. And then the outcome or advice, you might get some help along the way here.
Yeah, I kind of
There's
agree with
so,
that. So I was thinking the same thing. When you move, it's like everything's going to be up in the air, right?
mhm,
And what will happen when you move? Things are going to remain very fluid. They're going to remain up in the air. They're going to be, a lot of challenges trying to get everything aligned. There obviously were some financial issues, that were leaving, or a situation where you just felt like you were on the outside looking in. You didn't feel like you were where you belonged, and that was the challenge, or the five as a challenge, and the pentacles as representing home, health, family. It's the challenge of leaving home. That could be
yeah,
the foundation that has all this upheaval. Is why everything's up in the air, is because you are actually it's actually a challenge for you to have to pack up and leave. And sure enough, as soon as you do, things are not going, there's going to be some sudden changes. They're not going to be what you thought. Now, that doesn't mean they wouldn't be good for you in the end. They're not going to be what they thought. And it's going to force you to have to take that path,
mhm,
that dark path, and be okay with walking through the unknown. But at the end of the
mhm,
day, someone is going to if there is a financial situation, there's going to be some relief.
yeah, I
Someone's
think
going to
so.
come along and help you financially. It will not be necessarily a balanced relationship. You might owe them for that,
Yeah,
but at least it gets you where you need to be.
yeah,
So interesting, huh?
that is
Uh,
very interesting. The tower being a positive card almost is really
yeah,
cool.
the bottom
Yeah.
of the deck, the bottom of the deck, the Queen of
Queen of
Cups.
Cups.
So whoever comes to save the day,
I think that
um,
could be, yeah.
it could be an older woman. Let's do one last. I want to throw one last one. I don't know what it's going to be here, but it's going to be a one card.
A one
Uh,
card. Okay.
yes. Okay. Are these ones we've already done? Maybe this is in this pile here.
I got to
Okay.
show off my little baggie. I've got my Ask the Cards
Oh, do
bag.
you have, yeah, you have your little bag too, right? Yay,
Yeah.
it's in the cards. All right. All right, here we go. Last
Okay.
question, one card. Is my boyfriend being unfaithful to me?
Oh, we got to do a yes, no for that. Whoever the three card. Is
Oh,
my
well,
boyfriend.
I'll tell you what,
We,
I'm gonna do a one card first, right? Let's
okay.
see
We'll
what
do
comes
that.
up.
Oh, unclear.
Unclear.
So I think it means we have to do the yes, no spread.
Yes, no, yes or
Oh,
no.
oh, I'll leave this one to you, Lynn. You
God,
caught me out of
everything's
the
up,
blue with
yeah.
that.
The not knowing is causing a lot of chaos
Ah, that's good.
in the
Yeah.
not knowing, and it's causing a lot of defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the news
Is good.
coming is going to be that is going to be positive, and even if it's not, you need to stay positive if
Yeah,
you
I was just thinking to that. I've actually
maintain your
used
sanity.
because there's yes no questions in the practice bag. I've been using that one in one of your videos with the 13 cards. You do three
Yeah,
piles with 13. I like that. I actually used that the other day for someone, and it's cool because you get that other card to explain the situation if it comes up
three
not an
piles
ace.
of 13. Why
Mm-hmm.
am I drawing a blank on that?
You had two. You had your
Oh,
Wheel of
oh,
Fortune
oh,
one
oh.
and the
Yeah, it's
Teresa Reed
called,
one.
yeah, it's the Wheel of Fortune, yes or no. Wheel of
No, I'm
Fortune.
talking about the
Oh,
other one actually, but the one where you just do 13 cards and three piles, and it depends how many aces you get. Three aces is a definite yes. No aces is a
oh,
definite no.
aces. Wasn't that a me
You
and
did
I
it
think
with
that was a
D.
me and D.
Yeah,
A yes no spread with me and D, and that would be highlighted very big. That is too funny. That is
yeah.
amazing. Hey, listen, it's uh uh it's really good to see you.
Good to see
And
you too, Lynn.
I actually haven't seen you because I've been off camera this whole time trying to,
Whoa, there she is.
yeah.
Uh,
Hey, listen, Thanks, Rebecca. It's nice
Oh,
to see you, and
it's great
I'm
to work with
going,
you again. And I have a
you
couple more
can,
lessons before I'm done, so that's good.
yes, you do. So you stick around. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody else.
All right.
Please stop by my channel and take a look at my new shop. I have a tour there available, and it'll be fun to see you if you're in the area. Come stop by. All right, see you later.
Thank you.